Have you ever seen a completely self-assured diva absolutely fail when their talents are actually put to the test? Why do so many people seem utterly oblivious to glaringly obvious truths staring them in the face? Why do superficial buffoons amass devoted followers and wield surprising influence? All of this and more is explained by perhaps the second most important thing I think everyone should know: the Dunning-Kruger effect. Properly stated, the Dunning-Kruger effect says that the more incompetent a person is, the less able they are to recognize their own incompetence. It sometimes goes by the nickname the confident idiot syndrome because it translates to the most incompetent people rating themselves and their abilities as far superior than what they actually are. Being unaware literally translates into bliss. By contrast, highly competent people tend to rate themselves much lower because, and this is crucial, their superior knowledge and expertise enables them to view themselves and their abilities more realistically due to their actual superior knowledge and abilities. This is why people on social media confidently spout demonstrably absurd conspiracy theories, impervious to counter evidence. This is why millions of people who are blind to alternative perspectives to their own nevertheless feel fully informed when they only listen to biased news sources. This is why someone who is objectively wrong rarely can see just how badly they're in error and are more likely to double down on their wrongness than digest evidence that goes against what they want to be true and change their opinion. You see, it takes some degree of competence to accurately assess how informed you are. It takes more than a little self-awareness to acknowledge the limits of what you know and are able to see. The amount of maturity and enlightenment it takes to evaluate the underlying logic of your position or change it based on the weight of the evidence versus considerations like ego, tribal alignment, or plain old greed and glory. Because we're all strapped for time and can't investigate everything, it's natural to prefer following competent voices that resonate with our existing views over someone different from us or harder to understand. This is related to heuristics and cognitive miser theory that could be a whole episode by itself. Just isn't found in most average people. And by definition, that's the majority of us. In 1995, MacArthur Wheeler robbed 2 banks in Pittsburgh, being totally convinced he'd be immune to legal consequences. Why? He thought there'd be no way he'd be caught because he had read that lemon juice could be used as invisible ink. So he covered himself in this stuff before each heist, reasoning that lemon juice would make him invisible to any security cameras. Foolish? Absolutely. But here's the twist and why this idea, if more people knew about it, would change the world. Replace lemon juice and security cameras with any notion or idea or position that you haven't fully vetted and proven. The big idea is we're all subject to this effect when we're confident about something before we critically and fully vet it from all angles. Instead, we should, number 1, realize we're always unaware of at least a few important things all the time. 2, eagerly seek feedback and challenge our views. 3, refuse to take a strong position until you've examined all sides. And 4, replace blind confidence with talking tentatively and allowing for multiple possibilities, even ones you don't want to be true. Imagine what a world that would be. However, a lack of confidence is used by the majority of people as paradoxically incompetence. Hence the problem, and why not knowing what we don't know and not wanting to see just how ignorant and uninformed we are on so many topics is perhaps one of the biggest reasons we as a society haven't progressed as far and as fast as we all know we're capable of. There are just too many incentives to continuing to see ourselves and the world as we want it to be than as it actually often uncomfortably is. But now at least one more person knows. So now you can begin to see the world differently and act differently, and perhaps, once you understand this tendency, be a part of the solution. Committed to your success, Kendel.